Ladies and gentlemen, to CordonDemocrat.com. Brian Smith with Ross Schulz here today. We're going to do a little cast of the Class A Borden sectional, which will get started next week. And we're just going to offer a little insight, give you a rundown of who's playing who when, and then we'll give our predictions at the end. So Ross, if you want to go over the upcoming games, we'll go from there.
All right, the pairings that were released Sunday, starting next Tuesday, Game 1, is New Washington versus South Central. Then we move on to Wednesday. It's Christian Academy against Lanesville in Game 2, which is Game 1 on Wednesday. And the nightcap features Borden, the home squad, against Henryville. Then the team receiving the bye in Sectional 62 was Rock Creek Academy, and they'll await the winner of New Washington South Central on Friday evening.
All right, so there's a look at the matchups. Then we'll go over a little breakdown of the games. First observations is obviously the bottom half of the bracket is stacked with probably the top 4 teams in the sectional, and then maybe the bottom 3 are at the top of that bracket. So yeah, it's pretty evenly matched. You gotta like the strength of the bottom bracket, but we'll get into
Start with the top.
Let's start with the top, and we'll look at this New Washington South Central game. The two teams met about a week and a half ago. New Wash came out on top in an overtime game, but we said,
yeah, like with sectional could become, a second season for some teams, and hopefully South Central can use that as like a second season for them.
yeah, I agree, and I think South Central is still a better team than New Washington. Could have just been a bad game, but you got to feel they can turn it around. And Rock Creek up there at 11-9,
Sitting pretty good.
Yeah, not a bad team. They've beat Henryville twice this year, so they've got a couple wins on their schedule. But there's still 3 pretty even teams. And now take a look at the bottom half of the bracket here. Christian Academy and Lanesville hook up in that first game, and that should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it'll be the first game on Wednesday evening. Should be a good game. Christian Academy, I know, has some height that you know about.
Yeah, I saw them early in the season. They have 6'4" Mac Burton, kind of swing guy, good slasher, and 6'7" BJ Cadle. So they have height inside. They're a good rebounding team, and could give Lanesville some problems there, but.
Yeah, I like Lanesville on the perimeter, though. They got some great shooters out there. Condor, the sophomore, and Kissel, the guard. So.
And Husong and Hammond can both shoot the 3 as well. So they have some outside presence out there that could draw Christian Academy out.
And they're just on the roll right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're just hot. They've won, 9 out of 10 games going into Tuesday night.
And their one loss was to the number 1 ranked team at the time, Orleans.
One loss.
Last second match.
Yeah, so I mean, they could easily have won 10 in a row coming into this point, but they're 11-7. They've been here before. They won the last 2 sectionals. Went to semi-state last year. I think Coach Miller has the experience factor.
He's got a few players with the experience, the seniors. So.
They should be good to go. And then looking at the bottom game down there, Borden and Henryville. Borden's been pretty consistent all year.
14 wins at the time. So.
But their one loss has been to Henryville. One of their losses has been to Henryville. And it just makes it a crapshoot on this bottom part of the bracket.
Sure does.
And then Borden beat Lanesville early in the year before Lanesville kind of got their act together after Christmas. So, I mean, we talked earlier that you could almost draw straws in this bottom half to pick who's going to come out. And then, like you said, likewise, you could do the same thing at the top half of the bracket. So the bottom's really heavy, the top's kind of light, but you never know, one of those teams up there could
get hot for a couple games.
Yeah, get in that sectional final, and all they need is one upset to be a sectional champion. So
that's why they play the game.
It's hard to count anybody out, but we'll go over some predictions real quick, and
we'll take a stab at it.
Of course, we're just guessing here. We're just But Ross, you want to go over who you like and why, and then I'll do mine.
We'll start with the tough bottom half, I guess. I'm just going to have to go with Lanesville as hot as they're playing. I know it's going to be tough to beat Borden on their court, but I like them to do that and get to the final. And then up top, I'll also go with the other Harrison County squad, South Central. They could have a second season of sorts, as I talked about. They've had a struggle of late.
Yeah.
They could start over with the sectional, and who knows, they could get to the final.
And I guess we are a bunch of homers again. I like exactly what Ross likes. Down the bottom half, I like Lanesville too. I think that Christian Academy game could be interesting. And then possibly playing Borden or Henryville next. That's going to be two tough back-to-back games, especially, like you said, you got to play Borden on their home court. But I like Lanesville down there just because they've been really hot, really streaky. They're a very balanced team.
Just like the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, the team concept, I mean, that's what they have going for them right now. And then the top half, like you, I like South Central too. I was at their game Monday night. They struggled at times, but they can be a really good defensive team, which can lead to scoring points. You know,
They got some height down low.
I like them to get hot with, you know, the Cody Jobe is, 1,000-point scorer. He hits some outside shots. Randall Hurdle's pretty solid inside.
6'6".
Pretty big guy, junior. I like them getting past New Wash, kind of no problem, hopefully. And then, them and Rock Creek should be a pretty interesting game. But I like South in the final as well, but I'll take Lanesville to come out of the sectional. So
we agree on that.
We're homers again. But that's it for us here at CoreToDemocrat.com. For Brian Smith and Ross Schulz, we'll see you around and keep watching for updates.